Hi, good evening, and welcome to Cooking Uncovered. Tonight is a perfect night for a chicken stew, but it's not really a stew, but it sort of is a stew because I'm starting out with my already fried pieces of chicken. I'm using chicken thighs. I've already fried those ahead of time. But tonight I'm adding a little bit different twist. I'm adding a serrano pepper that I just got from a farmer's garden in Ashcroft, and this is beautiful, along with my beautiful carrots. And look at these beautiful sweet onions. Look at the size of this. It's like a bowling ball. Delicious, delicious from the market garden. So tonight I'm going to add some serrano pepper to my onions. So in this pot, I've reserved a little bit of the chicken fat, and that's in my pot. So I'm going to put in about half of the serrano pepper right into the onions. Now notice I'm wearing gloves because the last time I did this I suffered all night with my hands burning, and I don't want to do that again because these are really, really strong. So if you're going to handle serrano peppers, I suggest honestly wear gloves. It just is so much easier. So I've got half a pepper that I want to put right in with my onions, and that is going to flavor this stew, or whatever you want to call it. It's a mixed chicken vegetable dish with curry. So now my onions are starting to become transparent. I've taken half a yam. I've just taken off the bits that I don't want to eat. I don't have to peel it, but I am going to just chop it up the same size as my carrots. So just chop that up, and now they're the same size as the carrots that I have in my bowl. Look at those beautiful carrots. These carrots are just divine. I'll show you some. Here's two of the carrots that we have still left over. We've got a great big bag, and they're absolutely to die for. Okay, so gloves can come off now because I finished with the peppers. All right, so into my onions I'm going to place my carrots. So they're going to saute away. And so, no, I'm going to wait on my yams, but because I'd like to put in a teaspoon of the red curry paste. So a teaspoon goes right in, and that will also add to the heat and add to the deliciousness of this stew. So that all sautés in, and now I'm going to make a roux. And a roux is a mixture of fat and vegetables with the flour to give us a thickened sauce at the end. So just stir in your paste, your curry paste. And this, folks, is going to be absolutely delicious. And here I have my flour, so I'm going to add about 2 tablespoons of flour. That's my pie coming out of the oven. So about 2 tablespoons of flour go right into my casserole dish here. After my curry has all been incorporated, then now I can smell the serrano pepper, I can smell the curry paste. It's just delicious. All right, so into that, 2, maybe 3. Actually, let's do 3. I was going to do 2, but let's do 3 tablespoons of flour. And to this, I'm going to add my cracked pepper, as much as you want. And of course, season with salt. This is a good time to do that. All right, so now, with the heat still going, now I'm cooking the roux. I'm cooking the flour with the onions, and it's going to be delicious. All right, now I'm going to turn down my heat. To that, I'm going to add my yams. In go my yams and my chicken stock. So use any chicken stock you want. It doesn't really matter. And I'm going to use probably this whole container, which is 946 mLs, I think. Yeah, 946. So in that goes. To that, so I'm going to stir that around. I'm going to put in now my potatoes. So I have about a cup of potatoes, maybe a cup and a half of potatoes. These are the new baby potatoes. So I've washed them, so just go through them, and any pieces that you don't want to eat, just leave them whole. They're fine the way they are. Just throw them in because they're the same. Now they're the same size as the carrots, so it's perfect, of course. So put all your product into your casserole dish, and that's going to now come up to the boil. Once it comes up to the boil, you will notice that it starts to thicken because we use the roux. We use the flour with the fat, with the vegetables, and now it'll start to thicken as time goes on. So to this, I want to add my chicken now. Because this dish, once it's cooked, once it comes to the boil, it only takes about like 25 minutes. It doesn't take very long. So in goes my pieces of chicken. And I'm just going to cover it and let it sit and simmer away and become this beautiful, delicious chicken dish. You obviously need a really big pot for this. Put in as many pieces as you like. I've got 8 pieces, 1, 2, 3, 4, about 8 or 9 pieces, which is perfect. There we go. I'm just going to let this simmer away on top of the stove. The lid goes on, and I'm going to just wait for that to come to the boil, and then I'm going to reduce it to a simmer. So my chicken stew with the curry paste and the serrano peppers has come to a boil. Now I'm going to add 2 bay leaves. So these are out of my sister's garden, delicious. 2 bay leaves and half a cup of brown sprouted rice. So that's going to go right in, and I'm going to mix that in. That is going to sit on the stove for about 25 minutes, 20 minutes. I'm going to put a lid on it and let it just simmer away for the amount of time it needs. So that's about 25 minutes after it comes to the boil. So we'll just give it a second to do that.